the work that they are undertaking right now. Certainly we're going to make sure that the contractor who has been appointed by the Department of Infrastructure Development gives us the answers that we need. Why would you put rubble on that part of the roof that can't carry anything heavy of that sort?
Okay, guys, can we take questions? Okay, a few. I'm taking a few. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Malungelo Boy from eNCA. I just want to get a sense how many construction workers were working at the time, and have they all been accounted for? And my second question is for the MEC of Infrastructure, Mr. Mamabolo. Surely, sir, somebody should have came here and saw that this company was actually putting the people's lives here in danger. Wasn't that done? Didn't anyone come and check how this company worked, and whether does this company actually have any experience to start with? Let me see, Mama Bulu will take it. No, we'll come back to you. Okay, let me see Mama Bulu.
Okay, can I answer?
Yes.
Okay. Let me say that yes, indeed, the workers there were about 2 workers that were reported to us as being affected, and those workers were subsequently released. They've gone home. So from where we are sitting now, although they are still clearing the rubble, but the report we have now is that all workers have been accounted for. Now, with respect to how we work on construction sites like this one, is that as a department we have what we call a resident engineer on site that takes care of all the work that we do here. And of course, he has given us the brief, but we will also have to check when we do the further investigations to check what did they see and all that. Remember that what we're talking now is preliminary observations. So we'll still have to go to the bottom of the facts and to check all sides. So the other thing is that whether the contractor is competent or not, obviously when they are applied through normal supply chain processes, it will be on the basis of the fact that they are capable to do work. We don't have a policy where we appoint people that are incapable of doing the work. But obviously from what we have seen here, it is very clear that a contractor, any reasonable contractor would have taken proper measures to check the structure of the building and all that. So already there's a case to answer, and we have talked to that.
But what about the resident engineer? Did he do his job?
Yes, that's what we will check. And of course, if we find that the resident engineer or any of our official has not done their part, we will take steps with immediate effect.
The second journalist that I had noted. Yes.
I'm from ANN7. What are the repercussions of a contractor that was working on the roof, and is it safe enough for the public to come to the hospital from now on?
Who is taking it? Where?
Is it safe enough for the public to come? And what are the repercussions that will be taken against the contractors that were working on the building? I'm sorry, just one last one. Will there be any compensation to those who are injured as well?
In terms of hospital services, it's also our key priority area of concern. Johannesburg Hospital, or Charlotte Maxeke as we have renamed it, is one of the biggest hospitals, and we cannot afford it not functioning. We have ascertained that all other services are not negatively affected, and that this is an entrance into the hospital. So obviously, if there has been an incident like this, the site will be sealed because there's still debris, and also for further investigation. And that is why I've said earlier on, an alternative access to the hospital will be made available. One of these alternative access areas is the casualty. We will plead with the public to really bear with us during the time of finalizing the investigation and also making this site safe again. There will be signage that is put to assist the public.
The third journalist that I had noticed,
Can I just part of the question that need to be answered. Yes, and repercussions. Let me say that when a contractor is found to have done work not in a manner that's not consistent with how they should do their work, shoddy work and all that, there are policies that we follow. One, they can be blacklisted and they are never allowed to do business ever again, and that we are going to look into. And secondly, of course, depending on further investigations, if there's any criminal liability, we will obviously take that action. We are not going to leave any stone unturned, I can assure you about that, and we're not going to blink on this matter. Anyone accountable, negligent, will take appropriate action to the end. So that's what we're going to do. At this point, if this contractor, we can see we're already removing them from site. So already we have taken concrete action. So if we're found they've done something wrong, they'll never do business with us in future and with government in general. So that is one of the actions we'll take. With respect to compensation, we have got, as Premier had said, there are inspectors from the Department of Labor, and of course those issues, once the facts and the reports are presented to us, and of course working with the people that are affected, government policy will take its course.
Yes, I'm sure you do know that if it's the workers who are involved, there's workmen's compensation for the contractors. Any other person who will have got injured up to so far, I haven't seen any compensable injury, but if it has to happen, it will follow the laws. You don't just get compensated because you were at the site of an accident. You get compensated because you sustain particular injuries which are compensable. But up to so far, we haven't seen any. But the Workmen's Compensation Commissioner will assess the two workers, etc., etc.
The third journalist at the back. No, there was the third journalist at the back.
They've been answered.
Oh, okay.
I'm seeing from the Maiden Garden. Are we seeing national and provincial government care because of Life is City Maiden?
Because of what?
Life is City Maiden.
Can I just...
Actually, we have three spheres of government.
Where
is the MMC? I did say in the earlier briefing that the Joburg Emergency Services was here, and that we've also enlisted Ekurhuleni Emergency Services for the special equipment to help stabilize. We do have the three spheres of government.
Let me also answer for myself.
I also want to answer for myself.
I'm not sure why you're asking that type of a question. It's not for the first time that I come here when there's a problem. In 2010, 6 babies died here of Klebsiella, and I was here immediately. There was no life is demanded. Today I was coming from Cape Town. Just when I switched my phone on, I got a message from the DG that there's been a disaster here. I came straight from the airport, I rushed here, because I can't sit and ask questions. They told me something has happened in a hospital, and I rushed, and I'm sure the Premier will respond for himself. And the MMC, where is the MMC? Yes, okay, because I asked him why he's here. He said no, he's responsible for the safety and security of people in Gauteng and emergency services.
In Johannesburg.
So in Johannesburg, sorry, not Gauteng. So anybody in a position of responsibility, when you hear that there has been something, you don't wait to be invited, you rush. And that's why we all rushed here. I want to know why you are here.
I just want to say that I think when there is an emergency situation, we mobilize all the resources in our province, of our municipalities, all the capabilities. We mobilize them regardless of boundary, to direct them to where there is the situation that we have here, an emergency. So I would like to take the opportunity to thank our municipalities, the city of Ekurhuleni and the city of Johannesburg, emergency services, including the Metropolis in both instances, for working with our teams, including disaster management team, the departments of government that are here, and our minister. When this occurred, the minister was in the flight, I was in the meeting. So they sent a meeting to me, the two MECs, when they were here, sent a meeting to me, a message to me in the meeting to say that we have this situation, we are looking at it. The minister was in the flight, so we didn't even talk. We just understood that there is a serious situation. Even with me, Minister, it's not for the first time. When there is an emergency situation, we rush there. I want to say to you that to say that we have not learned from Esidimeni would not be a representation of the accurate picture. We work every day to say the life Esidimeni tragedy has taught us a lesson. That is important to say, that when there is an issue that requires us to deal with it in the most comprehensive way, to pull all government resources, we have to do that. We have had an emergency in the situation of the collapse of the bridge on Gauteng. Again, the provincial government, the city of Johannesburg, were there on the ground. MEC Vadi and the former mayor of Johannesburg had to leave whatever they were doing to rush to the scene of the accident. So that's something that we would like to do. We would like to be able to respond to these situations much more promptly. And today we're happy that we are here. But we want to say to you that the work is still continuing. Of the rescue teams, and if there's anything that by now we didn't know, we will be able to inform the people of our country and our province appropriately. And thank you from your side as the media for informing our people about this situation. We still have a lot of work to do here.
There was a question. We want to emphasize, if you check there's no other part of the hospital that has been affected. It's just that small passage where people walk through, and that's why even the concrete on top is not reinforced, it's very thin, because nobody is supposed to walk on top there. Any other part of the hospital is still functioning normally, and it's very important even for people up at home to know that this hospital is still functioning. The reason that the emergency services have been temporarily halted is because we have to deal with this emergency. Once in a few hours they found that everything has been cleared, the emergency area will also be open, but otherwise any other part of the hospital is functioning normally. It has not been affected at all. I heard stories over the media that there was an ICU, what. There's nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
How complex is the search in this one? How complex is the operation inside? How complex?
Well, they brought sniffer dogs. They've already sniffed 3 times as they removed the rubble, and the results were negative. They just want to make sure. They've even gone through the CCTV cameras to check who was passing there during the accident and account for all the workers in the hospital. They've accounted for all of them, but they don't want to take chances. That's why they have to remove the rubble. In an hour's time, I'm sure every rubble will have been removed, but up to so far, sniffer dogs which are used for that job have been negative.
Thank you very much.
Guys.
Thank you very much.
To give you life.